Behind the veil, what follows is not an investigation. It's a collaborative effort. Myself as the tarot reader, reading through symbolisms, energetic imprints, along with the shaman who comes in to soul retrieve and give remote viewing impressions. So we step softly into this next story, and it's of a woman by the name of Shanda. She was 37 years old, living in Sudbury, Ontario. Shanda was last seen around 3 p.m. on February 25th, 2025, on Melvin Street. So I asked Shanda what happened to you that day. And Shanda says, I'll tell you this. I remember the afternoon beginning with a strange mixture of emotion and longing. As you see the cards beginning to be shuffled, we have the 9 of Cups come out. And the 9 of Cups is something that makes me feel good. And that's what she was saying. She said, feeling like the desire to feel good again, to find a moment of relief from whatever had been weighing on my heart. And in the remote viewing, there was seeing Shanda leaving where she was, and she's kind of walking along a street, and there is someone that comes to approach her. Whether this person is someone familiar to her, whether this is the starting of a relationship, because the card in the middle is the Knight of Cups. And this is a suitor, this is a person, this is somebody who wants to offer some romantic proposal, or maybe let her to believe that, because it's very charming. And the cup is reaching out to the card on the far right, which is the Fool card. And this is a card of innocence. And this was how Shanda felt. It was like, you know, I'm going to take a leap of faith and believe in what this person is offering me. That card, the Fool card, it's like a fresh new hope, or it could also mean I'm going to travel or begin something, but it does heed a warning, a caution. The dog at the bottom says, whoa, 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 let's think about this. And I think this was Shanda trying to kind of figure out, should I do this or should I not? And she ends up trusting it. Shanda said, stepping forward without knowing where the path might lead, trusting the moment, believing it was just another small decision in an ordinary day. But life sometimes changes direction suddenly. On the far left, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is where things begin to turn. When it's upright, it usually speaks of turning in my favor, and at that moment, perhaps it was, but it follows a spin that goes down, and it means that something's already beginning to turn, and we move into a different vibration. So we have the Hierophant that comes out, which is a card that looks like some type of Pope Bishop on the front. They traditionally call it the Pope card. And this is where I seek some type of counsel. And there could have been an opportunity where Shanda was thinking about, you know, what am I going to do? Do I go out here and get soothed in some way? Because the person she interacts with, they exchange, they have an offer of something that's going to help soothe her nervous system. And that Hierophant on the far left, robed in red, it's where there might have been a decision of talking about something, some type of counsel, some type of fitting in. And there could have been a moment with that Two of Swords where she was trying to make a decision on, do I do this one more time and then go get some more professional support, or get myself out of this pattern that I've got myself looped into. That Two of Swords is something that maybe she had been going through for 2 years or something like that. And this is more about the choice here that we're moving into. She ends up going somewhere with this person, because the Knight in the middle with the cup, it sits right on top of that too. So we have inner reflection, and Shanda moves into this 9 of Swords, which it really is about. The 9 of Swords is the one on the far right, and she's got her hands on her face, and this is where something that it has reached a point of some kind of ending, whether this is reflecting confusion, anxiety, thoughts racing through the mind like shadows in the dark, and her own shadows. It's heavily ruled with something female related and the lower half of my body. It's kind of pains and things that maybe she's endured along the way, that this is why we made the choice to kind of get that edge off. We have the hangman reversed on the far left, and this is where it suggests some disorientation. And in the remote viewing, it was seen that she was in an apartment with this man who took her there. And it's more outside of Sudbury. An apartment that has a balcony. It's seen that Shanda's sitting on the couch and not really aware of where she is, and feeling very confused because they are always under the influence of something, and so they never really know what is right. And whoever this person is keeps her in that state. It's also where that hangman says it loses perception, like the world tilting and time moving really strange. Things are wobbly, and points of where lots of time has gone by and unaware. A lot of sleeping. So I asked Shanda, where are you now? We have the Four of Pentacles that comes out, and this is where I feel hidden and something kind of kept out of sight, confined. See how the back of that Four of Pentacles shows a cityscape in the background. So we've been removed from that environment. We're somewhere maybe about half hour, an hour away. And in the remote viewing, it was expressed. It starts with the letter C. Is kind of the last known place. And whoever this person is quite maybe a little taller than Shanda, slim, dark hair, dark eyes, almost hooded eyes, a little kind of triangled like. And I'm not sure if this person has done this before to other people, or he's like a part of a foundation of some type of group, and he rules that group. And very cold. Also, could the justice system knows of this person? They've been in this before. Could also mean the name Justice, because in the remote viewing, when the shaman went in to find Shanda, Shanda was really unaware of where she was, and she didn't know that she had crossed over. And so when the shaman asked who did this, she pointed to the man that was sitting on the couch with her and said Justice. And that means it could be the name Justin, or is a part of that system that they're familiar with. So something to keep in mind in the search too. When she realizes that she has crossed over, she projects her voice out and says, Dad, extend the search. And says it again, because this is something expanding. It's like outside of the city, almost like cliff edge, very hidden, tree lines were kind of wooded area. And this person, this male energy, is commanding someone to do something with her, because she crosses over due to the influence, just taking so much of it. And so they end up taking her somewhere and disposing. So I asked, say more about, where are you? And we have the Ten of Swords, and it symbolizes an ending, a closing of a chapter that arrived too suddenly. It was where I feel defeated. And the Ten of Cups, it's more about reminding that beyond any ending, there remains love of the family and the bonds that continue even when somebody has crossed over. That Five of Cups on the far left, you see a man cloaked in brown, and you can see like the home base, but it's farther out, it's farther away, so that's why she's not in in Sudbury. It's just outside of Sudbury. This is a familiar place for this male energy to do this, because it would be very difficult to find. But almost like he was seen in the remote viewing by some water. There were some trees and some line on the ground. That 5 also reflects the sorrow and the grief that carried by those who remain, and also her own grief that she endured. Because honestly, she didn't really know that she had crossed. And she was so upset. And that's why it was really highlighted, like, you need to extend the search because there's more to this. I asked, what's your final message? And we have the Page of Swords that comes out. And she says to keep asking questions and paying attention to details. And that 2 of Wands is where we make a choice to physically act, to do something. And answers sometimes lie beyond the first place we've looked. We have the King of Wands, and that represents the leadership and action. Someone willing to step forward and bring clarity where uncertainty exists. There's also the Ace of Wands that comes out, and that's a new angle of insight. And it's the spark of truth, a beginning, a moment when a new insight or discovery ignites. So expand the search, we can get more information. A lot of people are fearful to say things because of the person, this male energy, who leads this and has created this fear. Also in the remote viewing, it was when she crossed, she expressed a lot about how disoriented that she was, and also about her dad, and that she really knew that there was some kind of shift, especially after when a shaman goes in there to retrieve the soul. There should be some type of movement that starts to get ignited again. That Ace of Wands as a new beginning and a new project, right? A new opening. The King of Wands, it represents also fire. And not literally, it's more about representing the knowledge that we're going to be gaining once we expand everything. Stories don't disappear simply because they're hidden. Like seeds beneath the soil, truth awaits quietly until the moment light reaches again. And when movement arrives, then the story continues. This is Shanda's whisper behind the veil.